Well, that was pretty ugly. Jaguars 48, Jets 20. And I got something to tell you, people. I think it's pretty clear. I mean, I might, upon reflection, change my mind, but I think, as of right now, I think Steve Wilkes will be the sacrificial lamb after this season for a couple of reasons. One, I'm going to combine two sources. Some of the things that Ross Tucker was saying on the broadcast today, combined, and Ross Tucker, he says some douchebaggery type things on his podcast, but these days you kind of have to say those things to get people talking about you because there's so many podcasts out there. So, but on the broadcast, he's actually pretty good, and he's not anti-Jets, at least on the broadcast. And he tries to, give the positive side of what the Jets are doing and trying to do, et cetera, et cetera. But you combine his commentary today with trusted source Joe Blewett and his film work and some of the things he's showing you on film and some of the things that, excuse me, Ross Tucker is talking about live on the air with the Jets. And I don't think Steve Wilkes is going to survive the offseason review that AG is going to do on these coaches. Now, it is true that he doesn't have a lot of talent to work with, but something that was disturbing to me that Tucker talked about, he said, Quincy Williams said, yeah, our defense now is a lot more complicated than it was under Saleh Ulbrich. And that would be great if we had players who were not like a confederacy of dunces out there running around, with like Keystone Cops or something. It's pretty clear this group does not have the football intelligence to run a complicated scheme, and yet we seem to keep running it, and it's not working. And so one of the things that a coach needs to do, there's a lot of things that people think coaches do that they don't actually, like develop players and things of that nature. But one of the most important things that they do is understanding the roster they have and then designing their scheme to fit those players. So if we have a confederacy of dunces running around out there, which apparently we do, then you need to run a simple scheme. And as much as we might hate it sometimes, watching the games and so forth and so on, if that's going to give you better but yet not good results, then go with that. Because if you have bad players, there's not a lot you can do. Well, that's not even true. I mean, you could blitz more. Like, why doesn't Steve Wilkes just blitz the hell out of Trevor Lawrence? Especially after late in the game, Trevor Lawrence, he's got 41 points, whatever it is on the board. They're killing him. And he's throwing deep passes. He's throwing this. He's doing that. Blitz him. Blitz his ass. What do you got to lose? He's going to kill you anyway. At least make him feel you tomorrow with some sacks or some, quarterback hits. But we refuse to do it. And so I don't know what it is with Steve Wilkes. The guy keeps getting fired after 1 year. And in the past, when we hired him, I said, this guy keeps getting a raw deal everywhere he goes. But maybe there's a reason for this. So I really think you can't look as bad as this and have players say it's a complicated system and then it's not working. It's great to have a complicated system if it works. Like the goal of any system is supposed to be complicated looking for the opponent, but simple for your players to implement and execute. It seems to be the opposite. The opponents we play seem to very easily figure out how to attack it, and our players can't figure out where to be or what to do. That's the opposite of what you're looking for. So I think no matter what, I think Steve Wilkes is getting canned, and then we're going to have to get a lot of improvement in the quality of players, as we have talked about on this channel since the summertime. Is why I was so upset. I told you guys this roster can't compete. There's not enough good players. And then people want to say, but the coaching, yeah, look at the coaching now. It stinks too. That's a bad combo. So we gave up 48 points now on the that's basically what happened. You had a veteran quarterback, knew what he was looking at, and just killed us. 330 yards, 5 touchdowns, doing whatever he wanted, throwing bombs up 21 points, 28 points. Let's just keep throwing bombs. Nobody cares. Nobody sacks the guy. And on the offensive side, you saw Brady Cook, which I told you want him staying on the bench in the practice squad and let his brain develop a little bit and see what he can do next year. Unfortunately, he pressed into action, and you saw he could do some basic things, so that's good. Some basic things Brady Cook can do. But obviously when you speed him up with those blitzes, then he makes mistakes. And so, not horrible considering the circumstances. This is a UDFA rookie coming in there. He went 22 out of 33, 176 yards, 1 TD, 3 picks, 3 sacks, a quarterback rating of 52, whereas Lawrence was a 136. So what you saw out of Brady Cook at this point in time, he can do the basic stuff. Okay, that's good. He can do the basic stuff. If you throw in first down, he can hit a slant. He can hit, he can do this, he can do that. He can do some things, but he's not ready. He's not ready. He needs to go on the practice squad, and that's where he belongs right now. I tried to tell people, but anyway, that doesn't matter because we had to. He was our third guy. We would have preferred to keep him on the practice squad, but circumstances change. Now, the offense, we couldn't get Breece Hall going for some reason. Breece Hall only had 23 yards, but that means he's now up to 900 for the season. He's sort of slowly inching his way toward 1,000. He did not have a good day today, whereas Isaiah Davis looked a little fresher and sprier. Isaiah Davis ran at 9 carries, 58 yards, 6.4. So Breece Hall may be a little worn down from the season. That happens. Isaiah Davis, of course, a little fresher. He'd been mostly a special teamer. He ran for 6.4 average and that long one for a touchdown down the right side. So you saw Brady Cook use his wheels a little bit, 39 yards. He does have that ability, so that's also good. In the receiving department, I think what you're seeing is Adonai Mitchell, Isaiah Williams, and John Mechie are part of the plans next year. They got to be. Adonai, 6 for 58 and a touch. Isaiah, 6 for 53. And John Mechie, 4 for 25. And that's some of these passes were all over the place, and they still hauled him in. There are a couple of drops in there. But overall, I think you're seeing them leapfrog people like Arian Smith, unfortunately for Arian. So when Garrett comes back, that's pretty good foursome. That's a lot better than our wide receiver room was the beginning of the year. And, we're grasping at straws here. I mean, that's in this season. What are you going to do? Malachi Moore. Now, nobody on the defense played well. Malachi Moore led with 9 tackles. We did force 1 fumble. We still have the interception streak going, so. But that's mostly because we neglected the pass rush, and I told you guys in the summertime, you're going to be saying, where's the pass rush? And I would be telling you, we don't have the people for that. And I was correct. We just don't get enough pressure. Will McDonald is not good enough. He needs to be more of a role player rather than a starter, and we need to replace Michael Clemens, and we need to replace Jay Tufele, and we need to replace some of these people who, aren't good enough. It's going to be, I think we're going to be splurging on certain things in the offseason, linebacker, defensive line, safety, and then complementing with rookies in the draft. But no interceptions. What did we get? No sacks. We got no sacks at all. 2 quarterback hits. I mean, this is pathetic. 2 tackles for loss. I mean, this is a pathetic defense. Severely outmanned and outcoached. Liam Cohen, is a good offensive mind. We'll see how he is as a leader as time goes on. He comes off as kind of a doofus. But nonetheless, he is a good offensive mind. I think everybody kind of knows that. And you're seeing that he's working well, at least so far right now, with Trevor Lawrence. Now, the same thing happened with Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence. And everybody said, okay, we got the combo. Doug Peterson, good play caller, offensive mind. Trevor Lawrence is going to get him on track as opposed to Urban Meyer. It didn't work out. Now they're saying the same thing about Liam Cohen. So we'll have to see if this can be, carried forward. But so far, so good for Cohen and T-Law. They're 10-4. They're going to the playoffs, and we are 3-11. We're not even sniffing the playoffs. All right, Tankathon, where are we now? Now, we actually moved up as of right now. Things can change as of, with the afternoon game, the 4 o'clock games. As of right now, this moment, 16:29 hours on December the 14th, we're in 5th place. So we were hoping one of the key games today was the Cleveland game, and something bad happened. Cleveland lost, and Shedeur played horribly, at least as far as the stats go. Now, I didn't watch the game, obviously, was watching the Jet game. But the box score is not kind for Shador. 18 out of 35, that's barely 50%, 177 yards, 5.1 average, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 5 sacks, and a 30 rating. So he played even worse than Brady Cook. Now, Caleb Williams, 17 out of 28, 242, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So he played better, 112 rating. So Caleb may be coming around under Ben Johnson. Johnson and Cohen probably the best hires of that last cycle there. Both of them said no thank you to the Jets, didn't even want to interview. Can't blame them. Now, the other thing is that Mary Kay Cabot, we talked about her this morning on the live show, she said after this game, Shador Sanders throws 3 picks in 31-3 loss to Bears, but still gives the Browns reasons to believe he can be their franchise quarterback, which is interesting. You wouldn't think of that looking at the statistics. And she even says right here in her column, and this is one of the things, we got to follow these other teams. And Mary Kay Cabot, as we discussed this morning, she is a trusted source of information. She said, as the Browns continue to climb up toward the top few picks in the NFL draft with 3 straight losses, Sanders continues to show the Browns that perhaps they don't need to take Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza. The 3 interceptions might seem to tell a different story, but the second one was a perfectly thrown ball to Jerry Jeudy that was ripped out of his hands by Jalen Johnson. So one wasn't his fault. The Bears converted. Sanders was also playing behind a makeshift line with a new starting center. And then Tevin Jenkins was injured. I forgot that Tevin Jenkins even on that team. As it was, Sanders working behind the 9th starting line combination this season. He also didn't have David Njoku. So she's making all the excuses. Offensive line receivers. Still, Sanders continued to show toughness, moxie, and big playmaking ability despite the challenging conditions. So she's given him all the excuses. But you got to. That's why you got to watch the tape, and that's why you need a system. And I was just looking at my system. You need a system to grade the throws. Because if you make a perfect pass and a guy drops it, you get credit in my system because it's not a statistical system. All the other systems, EPA, normie stats, they have to reflect what actually happened. So if the quarterback throws a perfect pass and the receiver drops it, it has to count as an incompletion because that's what it was. But in my system, I don't have to make it mirror the stats. That's a good pass for the quarterback. He should get credit for it. Similarly, if he throws a pass and it's all yak, he throws a little screen, and the yakster goes and runs 80 yards. You shouldn't get 80-plus yards as the quarterback. You didn't do anything. You threw the ball 5 yards. So in my system, you get a routine. You get credit for not, missing it, but you get a routine throw, and then that's all you get. You don't get the benefit of all of that yakness, the yak goodness that you get in the stats. So Mary Kay, I don't know. Seems like she's making all the excuses. It was cold, the conditions, the line, the receivers, play calling, all the same excuses that they make whenever they want to make excuses for a quarterback. But without having seen the game, I don't know. Maybe it's accurate. So that's where we are as of now. Now, the teams in front of us, the Giants have the first pick as of now, the Raiders, the Titans, and the Browns, and then us. So if you look at this, it could be 2 of those teams need a quarterback. And what we really want is Dante Moore to have a great playoff and then declare for the draft because we need at least 2. Otherwise, we're going to have to give a huge package to whoever winds up number 1. Now, these are not final. We're 3-11. We just suffered yet another ugly loss. But who knows? Maybe Cleveland will win some games. I mean, we got to see. I mean, we are playing, we're playing New Orleans, who's behind us right now, but their game is going on now, so they might jump ahead of us, in fact. We got to see. But, in fact, they do. If New Orleans loses, they would jump ahead of us because their strength of schedule is weaker, so we could fall back even further. So, it sucks that we have to keep an eye on Tankathon. And New Orleans, Carolina right now, as of right this second, is 0-0. San Francisco, Tennessee is 0-0. surprisingly. San Francisco, well, it's just 10 minutes left in the first, so these games are just getting started over here. And as of right now, that Seattle pick is still 18th. They're, of course, playing right now, and they're also 0-0 in the first quarter. So there we go. I'm more and more convinced, yes, Wilkes is going to be the scapegoat. And I think one of the reasons for that is just because there's going to be a need to give the fans hope that the defense can improve. And so give a sacrificial lamb to the fans that, hey, and I don't know who they would get, but, a guy to watch would be Raheem Morris if he got fired by the Falcons. He's very close with AG. So, but, the fans need some sort of hope on the defense because it's not looking great. And when you have Ross Tucker saying, "What are they doing? This is a mistake. That's a mistake. This is very simple to figure out." That doesn't look good. That's not a good look. All right, let me know what you think about all this. Another loss in Jetland. I'll see you next time.